At this point, it is appropriate to reveal the master chronology. My ideas on the direction that XRP cryptos and equities will go in the next months to years are as follows, despite the fact that I am not an insider when it comes to making predictions. Are you all prepared? All of this culminates in the ACS inflation rate reaching 2.4%, which is the breaking point. Bears of bad news, bears of bad news, and bears of bad news have it coming because Jerome Powell is on the verge of imploding. Alright, guys, his mind is going to blow out and he certainly does not want to see inflation go up, does he not? That is his most deadly adversary. Indeed, he is hoping that inflation would decrease at this time, but it has already increased once again, is that correct? Despite the fact that it was allegedly below expectations, Jerome Powell wouldn't care about it at all, right? He doesn't give a damn. Wouldn't it be great if we could see inflation going down instead of going up again? He needs to see that. It makes no difference if it was not up to the standards that were set. It's time to get down to business, and here's the plan. There is a connection between this and what I believe will occur in the next weeks for XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and every other coin that is now available. In addition, I believe that it will be bearish. Is that correct? Despite the fact that I believe it will be bearish, we are going to be discussing the charts in just a moment. First things first, Donald Trump is practically shouting at the top of his lungs at this very moment. The Consumer Price Index CPI has just been released and the statistics are fantastic. If the CPI were to drop by 1 full point, then the interest rate on that impending due date would be substantially lower. Isn't it so very important? The President of the United States, Donald Trump, is currently engaged in a ranting marathon, and he is attempting to launch a full-scale assault on Jerome Powell. However, Powell has not even issued a remark about this matter. Exactly. Have you ever thought about what I would do if I were Jerome Powell right now? I would do the same thing that he does. In point of fact, I boost prices. By all means, it's just that if they aren't going to cut, they should just raise the stakes so that everything falls apart. But they won't, because in my opinion, they are waiting for something that they don't have anymore. They are waiting for what exactly? Exactly the same. It is time. In only a split second, time is a component to consider. When it happens, his Donald Trump's henchman arrives. According to Justin, Vice President of J.D. Vance, the government's failure to reduce interest rates constitutes monetary malpractice, that the Federal Reserve should have lowered interest rates so long ago. On the other hand, you can tell when they are about to cut rates. Vance and Trump both in the autumn. The Federal Reserve will reduce interest rates and they are going to reduce Jerome Powell's salary. The autumn season is when they make their cuts, and it is also the season in which everything actually bursts. There is going to be the most insane old season that we are going to witness. There is going to be a demonic rally, and someone urged us to come along to it a while ago. We are going to witness the wildest thing that has ever happened. I am curious as to why you consider a demonic rally to be a demonic pump. Why is that? Because it is going to be because of the current economic downturn. The people are going to be sacrificed. That much is certain. Permit me to discuss the current situation here. Therefore, I am more pessimistic than optimistic at this point in time due to the fact that these other elements are coming into play. Here are my ideas on what additional individuals do in the master plan. Additional P provides a number of advantages. There is no doubt in my mind that it is going to fall immediately at this moment. At what level is the problem? Before the real bottoming out process takes place, how low will additional P descend before it is actually purchased? Then we will reach new heights of ultimate success, right? This is the path that every other coin will travel, and some of them will be stronger than others. A few will be more fragile. Okay, but I believe that everything is following XRP at this precise moment, and I feel exactly the same for this reason. So here is how I feel about it. I'll tell you right now what I mean. It will be just here that you will find bottom and or bottom 1. Exactly 2 right here. Exactly 3 right here. 25% of the time. This, in my opinion, will be the lowest point. Okay, a 50-50 chance of $1.80. I believe that this will be the lowest point, which will be somewhere around $1.50 for XRP, and there is also a 30% risk that it may drop even farther. In my opinion, this region will be the lowest point, which is about $1.25 per XRP. If it hasn't already bottomed out, then where will it bottom out? This is why I said that if we have already bottomed out, then XRP can just come like this take, because there is so much liquidity here taking in rise, right? However, I have the strong feeling that somebody is removing this feeling from my body. I don't know why I have this feeling, but I believe that this will happen to guys like this. All the way up, we pump the pump. The liquidity is taken by them, and then they pour it all the way back down as well. This very spot is where the true bottom arrives. As of right now, everyone should be on time for the printing of money. This is going to be the most insane ride of our life, since it is comparable to a roller coaster in every sense of the word if something like that were to occur. Now, I'm not suggesting that it is going to occur in that manner, right? XRP bottom, there is a possibility that it is already present, but I do not believe that this is the case. Doesn't it simply seem like it's my gut feeling? You simply need to take it with a grain of salt, people. I'm not an insider, but that's what I feel. So basically you don't have to. I am of the opinion that this is what will take place. I will be aware of this because to the USDT dominance charts, and when we reach that point, I will let you guys know about it. However, I would want to reiterate that we have the potential to increase from this point forward. There is a lack of liquidity, and if there are a lot of individuals who are awaiting the bottom, as we can see right here by the depth of all these longs, then the answer is no. Exactly. It is exactly how much thick it became, guys. It is precisely how thick it got. It became so dense that the color changed to red, and the color changed to red. The color red is not something that you see very often, as you can plainly see in the top section right here. There is not a single red color code, is that correct? But in this part of the world you do, because there are a lot of people that are yearning, right? Mostly due to the fact that XRP went down there on several occasions, but they did not push for the complete liquidity. Take a look at this game strategy. Let's get started with the game plan. For this reason, I believe that XRP will accept this liquidity, since market makers do take it 90% of the time. Is that correct? However, let's assume we decide to accept the liquidity. Is it correct? We will seize the liquidity at this very moment. This is the bottom, right? I don't believe that to be the case. Are you aware of the reason? Because we just received word that this side told naysayers officials that is completely ready to launch right now some kind of mission onto the other side. I believe that we are truly going to go down. The reason for this is because we just got the news. Simply reading this is all that is required of you, right? Concerning as this may be, alarming as this may be, without mentioning the fact that the consumer price index CPI came in higher than it had been in the past, our inflation debt, and you put it all together with this odd right there on high alarms, I must say that this is quite concerning. Alright fellas, the United States of America is currently on high alert. To put it another way, it was only released a few hours ago, right? The fact that I had the impression that this occurred a very long time ago is very amazing, isn't it? I was under the impression that they were going to return for these lows. This is quite strange. You can see that the reason why these people are so demonic and nasty is because they are connected to specific occurrences, like as casualties that send the market down. However, the charts tell you that the market is going down first. Because of this, I feel that there is a 20% probability of a bottom right here. When it comes to liquidity grab and pump, here is where the bottom was established. If this is the bottom, this is the scenario. In this case, the second scenario is the bottom right, which will cause everyone to feel terrified, and then pump. All the way down here is where you'll find the third one. An additional point to consider is that I am of the opinion that the bottom will be reached by either this month or the next month. Alright, in the event that it has not already been decided upon, this first hour cut will be established for the next month. Right, it is evident that we could pump right now, but that's I mean, it's just that it's all about probabilities, right, of what's going to happen. But I do feel that the bottom, if it hasn't already been said, is going to be said by the end of this month to the beginning of the next month. Right now we are going to increase like crazy, and then maybe throughout the autumn period the genuine macro bottom will be created, and then the price of XRP will rise to probably about 2200.